Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network Live. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, feel free to reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, and we have a really exciting show planned for you all. First things first, I want to invite everyone in the audience to get involved in today's show. You can leave myself, today's guest, or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant real estate question by putting your question in the comments section on either YouTube or Facebook. And you never know, we may be able to get your question answered on today's show. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us this week on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. And I'd like to introduce to the audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you?
Yo. What up, Rick? I'm good, man. I have no complaints at all. We here, we rocking and rolling. The weather's doing what the weather do. You know, it's just time. Real estate is good.
Hey, man, you know, it's funny, man. You're right. Real estate is great right now. I want to take some time to reflect because we are knee deep in this buyer's market now. This is something that we've been talking about the entire year. We talked about this in the first quarter of 2025. Yep. And it seems as if the rest of the real estate community has followed suit. And I think through just the patterns, some of the calls that we're getting, what we're seeing in the news, that buyer's market is really starting to take hold. So with that being the case, Mr. Brooks, what's been going on in your world? What's going on in the world of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm? And what's just been going on in the market from where you sit in your seat, sir?
Yeah, you know, in my seat, I spend most of my time actually speaking and talking to realtors and those that are future realtors in this industry. And so just some of the things that I'm seeing is that people are still excited. You know, we can bear the bad news that we hear through, you know, social media and some of the news outlets. But for the most part, there's still people that's out there heavily involved in this business and really taking it to the next level. At Brooks & Davis, we had a chance to participate in Champion School of Real Estate's career fair a couple of weeks back. And during that opportunity, what the agents were telling me is that they had a ton of people coming up to them excited about getting into the industry at this moment. And from that, we've had an opportunity to sign on some new bloodlines, some new people that was getting into industry that are looking to be taught this business at a high level. And so, you know, just being able to come in contact with that. A week ago, I spent some time at the Pinnacle Awards. Now do an event where they bring out, it's a social aspect of it where they bring out leaders and talk about wealth building and different strategies for wealth building. Participating in that event, also bumping into people that are in the industry, in the real estate industry. And again, still finding growth, still finding opportunity. So, you know, regardless of what we may be hearing, this is still the time. People are still buying and moving forward in this industry.
No, you know, what makes that so relevant to today's show is that today's show is all about informing realtors. Mm-hmm. We talk about how it's a buyer's market. You're out there with the new blood that's coming into the industry. I'm sure they ask you questions about how competitive is it? How hard is it to get new buyers? What do I got to do to put myself out there and be in a position where those in the buyer's market choose me to be their real estate professional of choice? And I want to let everyone in the audience know that's what today's show is about. Today's guest is here to give you tools as a real estate professional to put yourself in a position where you stand out from the crowd, to give you tools so that you can actually win the buyers that are out here in today's market, because the city of Houston has one of the most competitive real estate markets of anywhere in the world. You know that, Mr. Brooks, with your experience. And today's show is something that I want all of the agents, all of those real estate students that you met, all those newly licensed agents, take notes, make sure you write down some of the things that you're going to hear today, because these are the tips and tools that's going to put you in a position to be successful. So, Mr. Brooks, could you share with our audience a little bit about today's guest, how you were able to gain his commitment, and how we were able to get him to choose to be able to sit in and be interviewed on today's show?
Definitely. So today's guest, I actually met face to face at the Pinnacle Award, not Pinnacle Award, but the Pinnacle event that they did the day prior to the award. You know, it was an event that was really set up for like-minded people to get a chance to network. And then at this event, we had an opportunity of not only sitting next to each other, but having a chance to network and kind of talk about the strategies and the strategies in a way that that the services that he offered can really impact and help realtors, as well as help their clients go to the next level, either be in a vehicle or purchasing something that's going to be very good for them moving forward. So it was not a very difficult commitment. I reached out to him. He had an opportunity to take a look at his schedule and squeeze us in this very week. So that was super important, right? And so with that being said, he's here. And what everyone's going to see is the energy that he brings when communicating about how excited he is about the products that they have, the services that they offer, that again help realtors, but also definitely helps their client when it comes to them being in the right vehicle when purchasing a home.
Hey, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This fine gentleman is not only a mentor, a consultant, he's also a home loan expert. He is the Houston branch manager for All Western Mortgage. I want to thank him for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network Live, and I'd like to introduce to our audience, Mr. Eric Kinney. How are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How you guys doing today?
It's a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for sitting in with us, Mr. Kinney. So, for the members of our audience that are being introduced to you for the first time, could you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about All Western Mortgage, and for our audience, could you just talk a little bit about what goes into being the Houston branch manager of that organization?
Absolutely. So my name is Eric Kinney, and I'm the branch manager of All Western Mortgage. All Western Mortgage is more of a West Coast mortgage chain, so they have a very liberal way of doing things, which is very good for all that we want to implement here in Houston. They were doing several deals across Houston, and they realized that they couldn't just leave it out there. They needed to tap this market. So they went ahead and put some things in place to open up a branch. And then the Lord was answering a prayer for me, and I was able to be recruited to come and run this team. I'm extremely excited to be running this team because they have a very unique style in which they do mortgage. And that allows me to be very competitive with other competitors. We know how it goes. Everybody's going to play catch up. But when I'm in front of the curve, and as long as I can stay in front of the curve, then that's what's going to be mattering most to everything that goes on in this Houston market. So Houston is a very diverse market. So I'm called to do a lot of things. And the main thing that I'm called to do is build strong relationships, right? We're only as good as the relationships that we can build. So I had to kind of break up with being a loan originator and say, hey, Eric, you're doing it from a high level now. Make sure that you're giving the vision, because when people understand the vision, then they can align with what we're trying to do. And then they can utilize my loan officers to be able to implement those products for all that they're trying to do.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kinney. I appreciate you being so transparent with our audience. One of the reasons why I was really excited about this week's interview is because a lot of what you've had to do as being a branch manager is market, promote your brand, but also differentiate that from all the other mortgage lenders that are here locally. And you also provide some kind of state-of-the-art tools that you use to partner with realtors so that they can differentiate themselves and stand out in the ocean of real estate pros that are here in Houston. So first things first, could you talk about what you guys do at All Western Mortgage to differentiate yourself, and some of the products that you partner with realtors to be able to provide to buyers to help them differentiate themselves in this market as well?
Absolutely. So the first thing I'll say, and the most important thing that realtors need to understand, is that All Western Mortgage offers 3 dimensions. We're not just doing residential loans. We're actually doing commercial loans as well as private capital. What does this mean for the realtor? It means that this is a one-stop shop where they used to have to try to go find somebody inside of a big bank or a credit union that they can partner with so that they can continue to service their client. No longer needs to happen. When they come and find us, we meet their clients' needs on every level, which allows them to continue to have a stronger relationship and allows them to make more money. Because who wants to help your investor get a whole bunch of residential properties, but now when he's ready to start doing his own build, you got to step to the side because you can't help with that. So when you come and partner with us, we stay in strong friendship with you to make sure that everything your client wants to do, whether that is commercial, whether that is private, or whether it's residential, still has you involved. And you're the one who's making sure that they get what they need because you're the one who normally forms the partnership or relationship early on. So
go ahead. Yes, sir. Please.
No, you go.
No, that was great because one of the things that is so important when Larry and myself meet with new agents, those that are newly licensed or newly join our team over at Brooks and Davis, is especially when you're new, you see so many different realtors. You see their social media, you see advertisements, you see billboards, you see commercials, you hear things as far as radio spots, and it can be overwhelming as far as what can I do as an individual to shine a spotlight on what it is that I can provide to the real estate community. So could you just talk about some of the programs that you're most proud of that you've seen realtors utilize to help the first-time buyer community, some of those who've never thought that they would be in a position to own a home, right, and how do they use your products to stand out amongst all the other agents that people may hear about or see in advertising?
So the first product I want to talk to you guys about is our Dream Program product. This program is absolutely one of my favorites, and I'm probably the most passionate about it. And the reason why is because this takes your people who are living outside of the box of qualifying for a traditional loan, which, let's just be honest, everybody's living outside that box. Okay. Everybody has a different and unique style of situation. So my Dream product allows these people to become homeowners and stop renting above the $2,000 level. I take offense to when people are renting above $2,000. I have a product that's in place that will help people in many situations. So let's just talk about a situation. Let's just say we had an ITIN borrower, right? This is Houston. We have a lot of ITIN borrowers. They get up every day, just like each and every one of us. They go to work and they work hard. They make a lot of money. So we don't want to stop them from being able to get a home. Well, with my Dream product, they only have to bring 3.5% down. Anybody who knows a little bit about the ITIN program, it started at 20%. Some companies can get you to 10, but now we're not worried about that. I can get you all the way down to 3.5% for your ITIN borrower. Well, let's also talk about another situation. Let's just say that you had a W-2 job and now God told you to follow a passion and go start yourself a business. Well, did you know that you have to have that business going for 2 years before anybody can actually use that income to implement that to get you a property? Well, not anymore. Because when you come down to All Western and we introduce you to the Dream product, we can take 12 months of you switching from a W-2 to a self-employed borrower, and we can use that to bring 3.5% down to the table and get you into a home. This is with a 580 credit score. A traditional bank statement loan would need you to have a 620 credit score. So the fact that you can go all the way down to a 580 and only bring 3.5%, and your situation is only that you switched how you take your income type, is big, because a lot of realtors are out there telling borrowers to wait for 2 years when that's no longer the case. So of course, when we can give this knowledge to them, we can say, hey, stop renting a house at $3,000. Let's go put you in a house. We'll immediately start to talk to you about what it looks like to refinance you out of that into a traditional product where you no longer have to worry about the earned equity that comes along with the program. So it's absolutely amazing. It's just something that everybody needs to look at. Don't let me not say before we finish talking about this product that it also allows for no FICO score. It also allows for one trade lot. So when you have people who are just trying to overcome in the credit situation, and everybody has a borrower or a client who is trying to overcome the credit situation, I'm telling you to come down to All Western. Let us give these people a shot. We are putting more people in homes with this product than ever before. Like I said, it's a very liberal approach on what we're doing. We're kind of a West Coast chain, the corporate's out of Vegas, and everything we do kind of aligns with the liberality of those things going that way. So as they're moving east and we're hitting Texas, we want to make sure that everybody here in Texas is getting what's absolutely available to them. And we don't just have that in the great state of Texas. Rick, I have this in 44 states, all right? 44 states.
You mentioned that you're able to get people qualified with as little as one trade line. And I want to make sure I spotlight this for all those new agents that may be in our audience that's hearing that. For me, what that shows me is that you're empowering people who have little to no established credit. You're able to get them established with one trade line and make home ownership something that's attainable. Could you talk about, Eric, what a scenario is like when you get a file from someone who's ready, willing, and able, but just through age or whatever circumstance has no established credit, where they will be in need of that singular trade line?
Got you. So if you have no established credit and you do go get this one trade line, let's just call it a secured credit card for $300 bucks. Right? We want to immediately start to utilize this. And what this program is going to give you is, in the details with this program, is they take into account things that Fannie and Freddie don't take into account in order to qualify you. Wow. So what else have you been paying for 12 months? Do you have a lease that you've been renting out a room for somebody and they can provide us the paperwork? Have you had an apartment and you can show me 12 months of on-time payments? I'm going to double back with their one trade line and give that supporting document, and that's going to get you into a home. And it's important to understand that we can utilize this. We need not to be renting, and I'll say it again, above the $2,000 level. That is way too much for you to throw out every day or every first of the month. It's not okay. So this is things that we can absolutely help you overcome. And then what it really does, Rick, and what we have to buckle down is that we don't just get them into a home and say, hey, here goes this. We continue to follow you. We make sure that you're doing the little things that you need to do to make your situation better, because one day we want to refinance you out of the dream program into something that's traditional, and then you can go ahead and finish paying off that mortgage in that fashion. So again, it's always about a relationship. It's never about a transaction.
No, and I just want those agents in our audience to understand these are the type of products. This is the type of customer service that's going to help you stand out in that sea of entrepreneurs and business owners. This gives you every opportunity and every reason to reach out to every member of your lead database. Those who previously weren't qualified, let's reach out, renew those hopes, and introduce them to Mr. Eric Kinney, man. So I want to thank you so much. One of the things that you mentioned during your intro, Eric, is that your office is a one-stop shop. You work with buyers, sellers, and investors. So for those in the Houston market that own a residential property, but are starting to look out as far as possible refinance, possible investment in a rental property, an investment in maybe a duplex or something multifamily, do you have different styles of products for them? How can they get financing through non-traditional means, but still work with All Western?
So that's actually a great question. And because we do commercial and private capital on top of residential, wow, where I'm unique and nobody's going to ever compete with me is we're going to cross-merge these products. I'm able to take a client into my office, talk to them about their specific needs, and then use all three of my dimensions to modify something that actually fits their shoe size. Everybody has a different situation, Rick, you know it. Whether they want to buy a building down I-10, whether you want to get 35,000 square foot off the Beltway, right? Real things that are really happening. Everybody has what they need. Now, if you need hard money, I can give you hard money. If you need construction loan, I can give you a construction loan. Let me tell you something that's so unique to All Western, the reason why you ought to use my phone number today. If you come to me and you have a commercial product and I can pre-approve you for that commercial product through underwriting, I will give you 100% of the construction every single time. We call it a takeout loan. Here at All Western, if you come and you point that direction and say, Eric, I want to buy this investment property through a DSCR, but I want to build a house. I'll say, give me 20% for the DSCR, and we will immediately give you 100% of the financing for the construction of that loan. That's something that nobody is doing, but let's dumb it down. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that people are not utilizing the one-time close the way that they should. Did you know that for 3.5%, you can do an FHA one-time close? Well, Eric, what does that mean? That means that you get to go find an empty lot, tell me that you want it, show me the sketches and plans, and we're going to buy the lot, build you the house, and only charge you 3.5% down, because FHA allows you to use a one-time close product to buy your property. So you can do that with FHA. You can do it with conventional. Guess what? You can go USDA or VA and do that 100% finance, but people aren't utilizing this. So when they come in, they want to talk to me about things, and I understand that. They don't really know what they're asking for, but we're here to lead you, guide you, and to gain your trust, showing you that we can get it done in very unique style ways where it won't be like pulling teeth. So as you can tell, I'm always fired up and excited to help somebody when it comes to this.
No, your energy and everything is just palpable, and it's coming through the screen. And I hope every member of our audience takes advantage of this information, shares, likes, subscribes, and let them know that there are these type of resources readily available here in the Houston area. You know, I want to make sure I talk to you about this because people like yourself, people like the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, people like CEO Michael G. Davis, and myself, we have a passion for informing the community, being out there, being forward facing, being someone who people can meet, greet, shake hands with, touch, and actually get to know on a personal basis. And the information that you have is so valuable. I want to make sure every member of our audience that would like to just meet, greet, interact, and pick your brain, Mr. Kinney, has the opportunity to do so. So will there be any opportunities in the near future for members of the Prime Real Estate Network audience, members of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, to actually come out and meet you, Mr. Kinney?
Listen, you are right on time, Rick. Okay. I'm having a happy hour on November the 13th. Once every month, me and my team have a happy hour. And what does that do? That allows you to come out, meet me, pick my brain. Don't just call me. I'm not hiding behind any phones. I'm not hiding behind any information. So on the 13th of November, we're going to be down the street at Patterson Park from 5 to 8. I will go ahead and have a sign-in sheet there. If you want to show up to talk to me about real estate, then hey, have some drinks on me before the Thursday night football game comes on. That is an opportunity for you to get to know us, an opportunity for you to get to grow with us as we get to team build with the community, because we have a unique space. Right, Rick, let's not limit this to just realtors. I'm talking about builders. I'm talking about developers. I'm talking about people who have clients who are going to be moving down for oil and gas. I mean, we have the World Cup coming next year, right? Yes. You want to be armed and dangerous to talk to those type of borrowers and those types of clients. So yeah, please come down. If you can't make that, I'm always available in my office Monday through Friday. And I'm down here on Park 10 Place at 16001 Park 10 Place in Houston, Texas, 77084. That's where my office is here in Katy. But hey, it's Houston. I'm always willing to drive and get a cup of coffee with anybody, anywhere. So you can use the link and send me a direct message, or you can use my phone number and just give me a call direct anytime.
No, I appreciate it, man. One of the things that I get so much enrichment and fulfillment from hosting this particular show is that I've had the luxury of interviewing over 300 business owners and entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things that I've heard from our audience that I am so proud to provide is a certain level of inspiration and motivation for that next generation of aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners. So for those members of our audience, Mr. Kinney, who have a passion for entrepreneurship, who have longed to be a business owner, could you just share a little bit about your background? Were there members of your family, close inner circle that owned companies or were entrepreneurs when you were a young man that may have served as an example or a guiding light from that standpoint?
So the answer to that question is actually there were not. And what I will say is I think that when you grow up and you understand generational cycles, and even some people might even call them curses, sometimes that passion motivates you to be the curse breaker or the person who breaks the mold on what that used to look like for your family. So I think the fact that I grew up in a family that had no entrepreneurs and no business owners kind of really motivated me to show my children something different than what we have been seeing before in my family. But I mean, I was in the industry for 20 years. I was in the fine dining industry here in Houston, Texas, and God used a gentleman to tap me on the shoulder and said, hey, Eric, I want to pour into you because you think that you're good at selling all this high-end wine and liquor. He said, you've really been selling yourself and you didn't even know it. So he helped me hone in on my passion to sell myself, because trust is where real estate has to lie. It's, hey, I'm not doing this with you because you got the lowest everything. I'm doing this with you because I trust you with my family and with what my family's needs are. So again, just being able to find a good mentor has really been what guided me. I didn't ever think that I was going to be doing loans, but I knew I was passionate. And then again, this just kind of realigned. And as I got into real estate, I became passionate about the fact that people don't have the knowledge that they need to make real estate decisions. So every day I wake up trying to ask God to cross my path with somebody who needs all that I've been studying and I just keep it moving just in that fashion.
Do you have the bandwidth currently, Mr. Kinney, to consult, mentor aspiring financial pros, aspiring mortgage professionals? Is that something that with your organization you guys have mentorship program or something along those lines that people who may be having interest could tap into?
So that's a great question. And per se, with my company that I'm running the branch for, they don't necessarily have that space. Now, is it coming soon on my entrepreneurial endeavors? Absolutely it is, right? Because I want to make sure I'm pouring into the community. I want to make sure that I'm pouring into kids who look like me, who come from the inner city, who think they can't get things. I want to definitely put things in place, especially definitely within my church home. I want to make sure that I have things in place that I can get people on board who just want a free education. Nothing that I do will ever cost somebody any money as far as what I'm educating them. So it makes it's really good for me to be in this space as a branch manager because I can spend time with people, right? Loan originators got to run around. They got to make sure loans are doing this and they got to go and do that. And I used to do it and I had a little bit of fun, but I was called to do a little bit more. So to answer your question, absolutely. I have some things coming up. So again, anybody in the audience want to start following me closely, please start paying attention to all my Instagram posts, or let's just become friends so you can stay in the loop of all that I'm doing and how I'm providing services all throughout Houston and basically across the United States. Because again, commercial in all 50 states, just in case you didn't know, residential in 44 of those states. So this is how we allow our realtors to broaden their net of the loans that they can bring in. Because now if you have friends or family who trust you and they're 4 states away, well, guess what? We're knocking those out of the park all day, every day. So we want to encourage them to come and partner with us, and we can kind of make some things happen for them.
And let this be a personal invitation to every man, woman, and child in the greater Houston area with an interest. Tap in. You're invited to the All Western Mortgage Thursday afternoon happy hours that
Yes,
Mr.
sir,
Eric
November 13th. Yes,
to.
sir.
So let's get that going, man. Thank you so much. Larry and I always joke that we have our show on the busiest day of the work week for business owners and entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for carving some time out your schedule, Mr. Kinney. So please, could you just share your contact information for the members of our audience in closing so that they could tap in, become a part of your movement, and make sure that they know everything that is All Western Mortgage?
Absolutely. Again, my name is Eric Kinney. My phone number is 281-730-3390. I am with All Western Mortgage. We're at 16001 Park 10 Place, 77084. That's in Houston, Texas. You can follow me on Instagram at AWM Houston. And you can find me on Facebook under Eric Kinney. Always available to talk to anybody at any time. Definitely have enough time and bandwidth to consult and help all realtors, all builders, all developers. Don't wait to contact me. If any of this sounded like you needed more information about what I can do, don't hesitate to reach out on any of those platforms or shoot me a text message.
Man, I appreciate you so much, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure to interview you, Mr. Kinney. If there's ever opportunity for you to partner with the Prime Real Estate Network, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, please just let Larry or myself know. You always have a seat here on the show with us, sir. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and thank you so much for providing so much during this interview to our audience.
And thank you. Thank you for pouring into the community and giving us a platform to talk to people about this. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, King. Have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir. Do the same.
Absolutely. Man, that was a great show, man. If you are a member of the Brooks and Davis Real Estate family, you want to learn more about All Western Mortgage, tap in with Mr. Eric Kinney. If you're an aspiring real estate professional, if you're at Champions Real Estate School, Mr. Kinney is a great resource to have as a member of your power team. Huge shout out to the team over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. Huge shout out to our super producer, Jay Joseph, behind the scenes here at the Prime Real Estate Network Live. Thanks again to Mr. Eric Kinney. Shout out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. LarryWBrooks. And until next Thursday, when it's time for the Prime Real Estate Network Live, we ask that every member of our audience, please be safe and be blessed.